would want to separately review both Red Dead and Breath of the Wild, but these games go hand in hand because they're so different from each other. Yes, they're both open world games with persuasion of exploration and freedom, but on a design level, Rockstar and Nintendo tackled these open world games with completely different interests. I would think that Rockstar's focus is how to alternate this open world to be used center stage for Red Dead's 80-hour campaign. Nintendo seemed to have chosen a different route. How do we put meat on the bones of this huge open world? This can be easily reinforced just by understanding each story. You could play Red Dead story without exploring its dense open world and you'd still have fun. Doing so in Breath of the Wild isn't the same.
Because of you, my spirit is finally free. Can't thank you enough.
Only doing the main quests and defeating Ganon is nowhere enough, because in Breath of the Wild, unexpectedly, your goal is conquering the open world more so than Ganon. I've played Breath of the Wild for years. It's not a game you can beat in a week. It's a game that allows you to take long breaks because the open world is just so dense. Anywhere you go in Breath of the Wild is the right way because you can virtually go anywhere and there's something to be found. You see that mountain? Once you scale it, there's a shrine up there. You see that kid? Well, he's actually trying to collect swords for his father. You hear that noise? That's actually a Goron playing golf. You could 1v1 him in a golf battle. Okay, Tiger Woods is probably pissed off right now. Mostly in the beginning of the game, you get these wonderful moments of pure uniqueness. In a way, those moments of me being a noob were the game at its best because there was a limitation of what you could and couldn't do. Instead of killing a monster normally, swinging a sword, dodging its attacks, at my skill level, it would be too hard, so I found a loophole. I would obtain ice arrows, freeze the enemy, and push them into the water where he would then drown. It's like the game wants you to see what kind of creative achievements you can pull off, and those creative achievements are really up to your imagination. And side quests, main quests, and combat really reinforces this idea. One time I was traveling across the waters, far from the map, and I stumbled across this island. It was so far away from any quest that in a glimpse you could have missed it. What I didn't know was that this island held my favorite quest in the game. What lacks in Breath of the Wild are those forgettable characters, and its really lame story. It just sucks. The voice acting and cutscenes are worthless.
Excuse me, princess.
There's no weight, there's no theme, and if you want a story, just play Zelda Ocarina of Time. Or, what's that game? In Red Dead Redemption 2, everything is breathtaking. When you climb up a mountain, you might not find a Korok or a shrine, but I'd be damned if the view wasn't beautiful. Where Breath of the Wild lacks in character, Red Dead thrives off of it. Dutch, the leader of the camp, wishes it was the old days of the Wild West. You got Javier, the Spanish badass.
You miss Mexico? Of course. Think you'll ever go back? I killed a man there.
You got Edith Downs, a broken woman you found in a wintered cabin. You got Uncle, the most important character in the game. He drinks whiskey and...
It's like people call me lazy. I'm not lazy. I just don't like working.
What I love most about these characters is it's really up to you if you want to know more about their history, whether that means doing side quests, spending time at the camp, reading their letters, and even doing the simplest of things like talking to them. One time I was at camp about to go to bed for the night, and to give you context, I already played a mission just trying to find this tipsy and intoxicated Reverend Swanson. It was meant to be a joking, lighthearted side quest, but when he talks around the campfire, he is a lot more serious. You can't help but feel bad for him.
My life took a turn for the worse when I took up with morphine and opium. I was told it would alleviate my suffering, and in many ways they were correct. It made all my previous suffering just seem ridiculous. Now I had real suffering, and I lost everything: my vocation, my faith, my family. And but for Dutch and you poor people, I would have lost my life long ago.
I'm sorry about that.
So am I. And yet I know in a few days I'll be back at it. Searching for I don't know what in that stuff.
This is how you develop a character in a video game, and Rockstar still understands how to create these programmed and textured 3D objects into actual people, so much so that I can actually recall their names. Now, let's see here. We're back on Breath of the Wild. Can you give me the name of this guy? Okay, I think that's Birdman. Damn it! There's fishing, hunting, and there's side quests that are actually interesting and can bring out a lot of character to Arthur Morgan. One time I was traveling in the open world, and a poor soul came up to me saying he was bitten by a snake. So I gave him some medicine to treat his wounds.
Medicine? Oh, thank you, Jesus.
And later on, I went to Valentine, and he gave me a free gun.
How about you head over to the gunsmith and pick out your choice of item on my tab?
It's like your actions have consequences, and they really do. Cutscenes will literally change depending on who you are as a person. In GTA, when I cause a genocide, I wouldn't care because I don't give a rat's ass about any of these people. In Red Dead, if I cause a genocide, not only will my character change in the story, but I'll also feel bad because maybe I had a deep conversation with some of the people around the town. This game can be lighthearted, other times it can be cruel, and one of my favorite moments was when I stumbled upon a camp and I saw a drunken man. I gave him a whiskey, and the things he said were very dark.
You're a place called Four Rigs? South of Strawberry. Captain, Indians penned in there like cattle. I ain't know what's worse. Seeing the ones we killed or watching the other ones die. The slow way. Well, they pay well. Them government boys. But the money don't last long. It's what you did. Sticks around.
I know the feeling.
I was a young man then, but I still see them faces clear as yesterday. I do.
This random bastard in 60 seconds has more life than anyone in these games. This game can blow you away, but it also can be a pain. In contrast to Breath of the Wild, it lacks in gameplay. To transition, here are a minute's worth of two similar quests. A lady asks Link to find 10 cooked apples, and in Red Dead Redemption 2, you help and rescue this lady and escort her to a nearby town. In Red Dead, you hear this pretty funny story about how this lady even got into this scenario of how her horse died and how these alligators ate her horse and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but gameplay-wise, all you're doing is tapping a button for a minute straight. In Breath of the Wild, the game isn't holding you by your hand anymore. You can collect those apples any way you desire. You can find an apple tree, you could break boxes and hope to find one. You can buy apples, sometimes monsters will drop them. And all these moments are in service to explore the open world. You don't see that in Red Dead Redemption. You don't see yourself playing the game. You see Arthur Morgan playing the game. I'll put the nail in the coffin and finish with my two favorite side missions from both games. In the second chapter of Red Dead Redemption, your camp is near a city by the name of Rhodes. You'll stumble across this old, unemployed, homeless man. He says that he lost everything and he merely asks you to retrieve some random knickknacks for him. Once you find his house, you begin to find some odd messages around each room, like something is off.
Dear Mr. Compson, after numerous complaints from customers and fellow employees alike, we must terminate your employment. There's just no place for a man like you at the Central Union Railroad Company.
You unlock a trapdoor and you enter. He's a slave owner. What the fuck? That's why he's homeless, that's why he's jobless, and that's why he wants his ledger, of which there are names of the slaves he's owned. My jaw dropped. This was the most twisted mission I have ever played. There's not much real gameplay nor limitless possibility, but the writing, storytelling, acting, and the dramatic final words exchanged between Arthur and the slave owner was beautiful as it was horrific. And Red Dead Redemption has so many of those moments of incredible storytelling and captivating characters. And that's what defines Rockstar, and I hope they develop on their weaknesses, because what they need more than ever is the game. Come on, I don't want to be tapping X for Red Dead Redemption 3, okay? To refresh you, my favorite side mission in Breath of the Wild was when I stumbled across an island. At this time, I was in my demigod phase, where everybody saw me as the most powerful creature. I could one-shot every enemy, and I was so good that I didn't even need to use my imagination to kill monsters. But when I landed on the island, it changed everything. I lost my armor, all my tools and weapons. I had nothing but myself in order to beat this level. You need to throw 4 orbs into 4 crevices, and you'll be rewarded with a shrine. This mission is a game design achievement because you need to know your prior knowledge and innovations to beat this level. Liberty, informality, independence. Rarely do you see a game gain so much praise for taking so many risks. But all I'm asking is just to have maybe a more captivating story. And it seems like they're taking steps in the right direction. Thanks for watching.